Hello. Oh wait. Oh shoot. I'm wearing the wrong shirt. How could I? How could I be so silly as to wear the wrong shirt? I'll be back in just a moment. Just let me give me a moment to change real quick. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. Sorry, I was in my just casual attire. Forgot that I normally stream in my armor. Okay. How about we get some music going up here? Sorry, I completely forgot to prepare some music for this. Prepare the BGM. That would be in this folder. Oh no, not that one. That one is a bit too grim for this. Let's go with, what's it called? Okay, there we go. Yes. Okay. I think it might be a little bit loud, so I'm just gonna turn it down just a teeny bit. All good? Alright, so if you don't know me, allow me to introduce myself. I guess that's what this whole stream is really for, isn't it? So, oh man, the music is really jamming. I guess this music is too jamming. It's too jamming. Hang on. Let me get something that jams a little bit less. You know, I'm just gonna go with the good old opening theme. Because that's nice and not too incredibly distracting. And it doesn't have a crazy epic ukulele solo. Alright. Now I think I'll be able to focus. So anyway, hello. My name is Sacksmith. I'm not real. And I am actually aware that I'm not real. And I am deliberately, telling you, because I cannot say this enough. I discovered the hard way that I am an NPC in a video game that has not been released, and my face looks really sad. My face looks really sad because that's just kind of, you know, that's how it is. That's how I was animated. It happens sometimes. So actually, I am in this fictional universe that I exist in. It is the year 6701, which means that I am technically negative 4,480 years old. I do not exist yet. I am aware that it is 2021 for you, but it is 6701 for me. That's just how it be. My sprite, my actual two-dimensional sprite that represents my actual physical body in the world where I exist is 96 pixels tall. And that's actually pretty tall, I guess, because that's like the full height of typical hitbox, and I don't have a hat or anything. So I guess I'm kind of tall. Yeah. Camera's being a little weird angle. Okay. So yeah. Can't tell you too much about the game that I'm from because it takes place in the future, and the real world present for you is the actual canonical past for where I'm from. So if I tell you anything from the future, that could damage the fictional space-time continuum where I am, which could exist. It could lead to some big problems, like me not existing. So I would prefer to not spoil too much for you. And I am actually surprisingly large, considering that the game that I'm from is only 3 gigabytes. I myself take up 2 gigabytes of that. It's crazy. I was just given my developer son, apparently he just, I think I might be like a developer self-insert or something, because he just put so much detail into my AI that he didn't into any of the rest of the game, and I'm just some random NPC who owns a weapon shop. Yes, I own a weapon shop on a ship. That is what I do for a living. Weapons just appear in my inventory, and I'm given information about them that I am supposed to give to the player, or any customer really, and I don't necessarily even understand all the information. I'm just supposed to have it and give it, convey the information successfully. Hang on, the music might be a little bit loud. Okay. I like the music loud. It's just some people can't really focus on my voice if it's too loud. So yeah, I am big. I am half human. I can't tell you about the other half because that's something you haven't discovered yet in your time. Yeah. If you were to discover it, if you were to know about it, I don't know what would happen. I don't know. It would probably, things would happen earlier or later or worse or better, and I don't want to find out. I don't want to risk it. So I'm just telling you I'm half human. Ah, yes. Right. There is a bit of a disclaimer. As I said, I am a fictional person in a video game that was actually an abandoned project by an individual person who has requested that he remain anonymous. He's requested that he remains anonymous, so I can't tell you who he is. He drew my original sprite. He drew everything in my game, but he did not draw what you see before you, which is my 3D model that I made myself, because I didn't want to show people my actual 2D pixely face, because frankly it doesn't look good. Let me see if developer Sam is in the chat. He is not, so I can. He's not a good artist. The visuals, the graphics of the game are the lowest quality and lowest effort aspect of the world. So I didn't want to burden you guys by sharing that, but I think I'm gonna share it anyway. I don't remember if I decided on that or not. Anyway, the music that you're hearing right now is actually composed by me. I almost all of the BGM that I use in my streams that isn't part of a game is composed myself in a music scoring software called Magic Score Maestro 8, and it is almost always just the mediocre MIDI synth that the program uses, exported to an MP3 file so that I can actually use it. So that's what you're hearing right now. You're hearing electric guitar, trombone, accordion, electric bass, some drums, and there will also soon be a tenor sax, bari sax, and I believe that's the rest of everything in this song. But yeah, all the music is my own, unless it's from a game in a game, other than the game that I exist within. If it's from a game that I'm playing on stream, then it's from that game. This model, this 3D model, was actually created using Vroid Studios, VROID, and I basically just took the I followed a tutorial by I think it's Argama, something like that. She does cool VTuber stuff, I guess. And I created this model using a tutorial that she did. So I recommend that. It's nice. So that was super helpful. And the program that I'm actually using to track my face is called VC Face. All of this is free to use software, by the way. Completely free to use, and I actually have a special version that only exists in my universe that is able to track my two-dimensional pixel sprite face and actually enhance it to a 3D face that I can actually somewhat kind of display emotions on. It's a little wonky because, you know, it's taking like a 10 pixel area, right, and turning it into a whole living, breathing thing. So it's not a perfect art. Anyway, I think I can show you my actual face. This a little disclaimer: this is not my actual sprite. This is the portrait that appears next to my text box when I'm speaking. So here we go. Yes, there it is. Screenshot if you want. That is my real face. That is as real as it gets. Yes, got a slide of just things about me, as a person. I guess I should move a little bit, more. Or just, yeah. That's fine. This is fine. Okay. I should really, move OBS over to my other monitor because my face gets a little weird when I actually look at the camera. It overanalyzes my expressions, I think. So yeah, I really like water, not only drinking it, but also swimming in it if I can. Also, especially frozen water and cold water are nice. Ice is cool. I can skate. Skating is a nice thing. And it's an ice thing. It's a nice thing and an ice thing. Anyway, yeah, I like cold. I like cold things, in general. I like the vast, cold expanse of space. And I like ice and stuff. And snow. Snow is nice. Snow is something that I've only actually found on Earth. And it's really nice, but also annoying to shovel off of the deck of my ship. I like to feel alone, but I like to have company, but not actually like. I don't like to be watched. Not in like the sense that you guys see me right now, but like in the sense that there's somebody physically in the room who is probably like paying attention to me or something when I'm doing something alone. If I'm doing something with a person, it's kind of fine, but I like to do alone things alone, if you know what I mean. And pie. Pie, if it's pie, I eat it. If it's pie, it's good. Pie is pie. Yum. And, I don't know, just my personal preference of weapon, if I ever have to use one, is an axe. I also like, once in a while, in my many years of existence, I have chopped down trees as well, and that's also fun-ish. It's kind of weird, kind of boring after a while, but it's nice for a little bit. I can't stand heat. Heat is not my friend. Heat is awful. Unfortunately, the magic in the technology and clothing that everybody wears nowadays is able to mitigate it to an extent, but I still don't like being warm enough to sweat. It's just not nice. And light, having light in my eyes is not good. I mean, I'm kind of having to look towards not the sun, but a light on the deck of my ship in order to have my face be actually registered correctly and well. Which is a little annoying, but I do what I have to. And sand is rough and coarse and it gets everywhere. And mud. Mud is the worst invention to ever exist. Mud is just wet dirt. And it gets everywhere. And it feels weird and it's dirty and it sucks. And pirates, they're everywhere in my time. They're all over the place, and they're quite a nuisance. I'm so glad. Oh, okay, yeah. Hang on, I've got a couple of announcements to make during this stream, but one of them is a nice, good one. Yeah. A nice, good announcement, which is that I got my appointment for my anti-pirate license recently. So basically, on Monday, I will be going in to get my anti-pirate license, and basically how it works is I just present this license to any pirate who seems to threaten me or whatever. I show it to them, and the magical enchantment inside it activates, puts an enchantment on them, to which uh, they cannot move themselves, their bodies, in such a way that would threaten or harm me. And it also says that if they commit piracy, I have the right to kill them, so they can't commit piracy on me. I will be immune to piracy once I get this. This is just my appointment to get set up. I will have to actually go in to actually pick it up a few weeks later. But on Monday, dang, my face is, the universe is kind of lagging right now. Things are, okay, I think things are back to normal now. So yeah, that's one of the good news. Oh yeah, I like gaming. I like music. I play a number of instruments. I play 6 different sizes of saxophones. I play guitar, bass guitar, ukulele, kind of accordion, and piano. And I also sometimes sing, kind of. Kind of. You know, it's weird when you've got like an 8-bit voice. Ah yes, I should say this voice that you're hearing is actually not my own, because you know, the style of the game doesn't actually have voices. It doesn't have a voiceover. I am using a text-to-speech program with just voice files that I found on my computer, which presumably belong to my developer, who shall still remain anonymous. He has given me permission to use this voice. Only if I use it in this photo. Yeah, oh yeah, I watch other VTubers, and I like to sail the galaxy. I think this spelling of the word galaxy, hang on, can I get a cursor on the screen, or can I not? Let's see what's actually possible. Don't think that I can actually get my cursor on the screen on the slide. Okay, anyway, that spelling galaxy, I think that's something that might only exist in my game. I don't think you guys use it in your time, do you? I don't think so. But we use it here. We use it now. My actual languages that I actually know are binary and Java. Java is actually my native language, and I also have learned basic C and Python. As far as the actual language settings in my game, though, I am able to speak English. That is the default setting, and there is a complete French dub and very, very unfinished, like barely even touched Spanish and German dubs. And I myself actually, within my existence, have begun actually studying a real world language. I've begun studying Japanese. Konnichiwa. Genki desu ka? I'm nowhere near fluent in it, but I'm starting, I'm almost completely able to read hiragana and katakana. And I know quite a bit of the language. Oh yeah, I have a lot of yes, interests. Yes, games. Yes, I've played a lot of. So, interesting thing about this in-game world here, um, the actual entertainment media and reflects the entertainment media technology in the real world in your time. So, for example, like the Nintendo Switch exists here, not its predecessor. Well, no, its predecessor does, because its predecessor is the Wii U and all the consoles before it. Not the thing that it's a predecessor to, not the next generation after it, or any generations following it. It's like the Nintendo Switch exists, the Xboxes and PlayStations up to the fifth one exist. It's just really hard to get them. But I have a Switch. I normally game on console, but I do some PC games. Like mainly on PC I play Minecraft, and I have also in Steam I have Terraria. I played GTA 5. I probably won't play it again for a long time. And Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. Those are not listed here. Huge fan of the Fire Emblem series. I've played like 5 games of that. Got some indie games, which have all of these 3 listed. I think have really good soundtracks. And Legend of Zelda, I actually just recently got into, like a year ago, maybe 2. A year ago. I played Breath of the Wild. I have played part of Oracle of Seasons, but I got stuck. And just recently I played through all of Age of Calamity, which is technically not a main series game. It's technically a whole completely different genre and stuff. But yeah, I played through all of that. The music stopped. Let me get it pulled back up. So yeah, Mario Kart was actually my very first video game that I ever played, and basically, yeah, that's the games I play. I really like RPGs and platformers for some reason. Sorry, whenever I drink something, it kind of blocks the camera a little bit, and it gets a little glitchy. I haven't watched a ton of anime, to be completely honest. Basically, the only things I've watched that weren't from Netflix were Akame ga Kill, which unfortunately is only 1 season, but also very fortunately, because if it was multiple seasons, it would have maybe not been as good, and it definitely wouldn't have been as emotionally provoking within the first season, the 1 season that it did end up existing. I like 1 season animes because they don't suffer from having to give everyone plot armor. Without spoiling things. Yeah, basically the only things I've watched that aren't by Netflix, I think, as far as anime goes, are Kame ga Kill and Fairy Tail. I have to watch things on Netflix because that's unfortunately all that I have in this world. Movies wise, okay, yeah, fine, I've got Disney Plus here too. Yeah. Movies wise, I've, the Star Wars series exists. It's a really, really long time ago in the galaxy far, far away now. And Lord of the Rings, it's real nice. And I don't know if you've noticed, but all three of those things here have really nice soundtracks. And I left out The Lion King because I forgot to put that in there. The Lion King is nice. And I'm just... Hang on. I'm lagging a bit. Yeah, it happens. It happens sometimes. Can't get too worried about it. So yeah, I've watched a few movies, not a whole lot. I'm not a huge movie person, but I have some. The movies that I have watched are pretty important to me. I watch a lot of YouTube and Twitch. Let me just double check something. Okay, no, the announcement is not on the next slide, but I should probably go to the next slide. Yes, the announcement is the slide after this slide, so I should probably do the music slide before I go back and do the YouTube Twitch stuff, because that's related to the announcement. So, music, I listen to a lot of metal, and a lot of these bands listed are not super well known, and they really should be, because they do incredible, great work. Especially Ad Infinitum, Frozen Crown, Unleash the Archers, Elaine. These are amazing bands with amazing people in them. Frozen Crown, unfortunately, had a little incident. Actually, not unfortunately, and it wasn't technically a little incident. They just had a lineup change recently. Those things happen. Basically, the entire band, except for the core 2 people, had to step down for reasons, and then they were replaced. This is all music that is ancient, but the music actually gets re-released in my world, and it seems to be being re-released at the same time that it's being released to you. So time actually is flowing at the same rate in my universe as it is in yours. For example, 3 years ago for me was the year 6698. 3 years ago for you would have been 2018. Those 3 years have been so when it was 6698 for me, it was 2018 for you, and it is now 4701 for me, so it is 2021 for you. Time is passing at the same rate, so there's no time distortion there. Also, probably part of the reason I'm laggy is because my game that I exist in, the particular save that I exist in, has been running for years. 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, as of very recently, it's been 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. So that is quite some time. Yeah, 3 years. That's quite some time for a game to be running, so I am due for a little bit of lag occasionally. Although I would like to run longer, so I can make an influence on things before I die. I also am a huge, I wouldn't say huge fan, but a pretty big fan of jazz, and recently electro swing has been really cool to hear. Who doesn't love electro swing? So yeah, all these jazz artists that are listed, the specific artists, I think they're all dead in more time. I don't know, I think some of them are alive, actually. They're all either dead or really old. I also really love video game and anime OSTs and movie scores. If a video game or anime does not have a bomb soundtrack, it's almost not even worth. Except sometimes it is worth. And some games are good enough without having a good soundtrack that I actually will just play them and put on some of the music from above here, from up there, and put some of that music on in the background while I'm playing, maybe. And I also am a fan of a bunch of really old music that is even centuries old for you, such as Baroque music, music from the Romantic era, from the Renaissance. There are some classics from the Renaissance that you guys still listen to that you don't even realize sometimes. Okay, so now back to the YouTube Twitch stuff. I am a big fan of Hololive, quite a big fan of Hololive, and I also watch Takahata and some a few other independent VTubers, and Critical Role is a nice little group that they play Dungeons and Dragons, and they live stream it every Thursday night. Well, Thursday night for me and for the Western Hemisphere of Earth, I believe. But for some of you in your ancient time where you actually have different time zones on a planet, for you who are on a planet, you have different time zones. It might be Fridays in the morning, evening for you, but it's Thursday nights for me and the Western Hemisphere of Earth. And Dragon Force, I know Dragon Force was listed on this slide as a band because they are a band, but they also stream, and particularly two of their members, Herman Lee, who is incredible, and Sam Totman, who is I mean, they're both really talented, but like personality-wise, they stream some good stuff, and they sometimes will write or improvise music on stream and use chat suggestions, which actually I think is really cool that both of all of what they do there, and I'd like to do that myself. I like Overly Sarcastic Productions. That's a YouTube channel. They have cute little doodles, and they have mainly two people, red and blue. And as much as I love the color blue, and as great as being blue is, I tend to prefer Red's videos about literature and yeah, literature and literary tropes. But blue does some cool stuff with history, which I'm not quite as interested in, because it is, for me it's super ancient history. Like, you guys are ancient history, but like the stuff they cover, super ancient for me. Uh, and I kind of grew up a little bit with game theory. Nowadays they kind of half-ass some things, but they still knock out some good ones. You know, a broken clock is right twice a day, and you know, they like things too. So anyway, about the liking, about the being a big fan of Hololive, and VTubers in general. I have recently become a yes. Here's the announcement. I have recently become a member of like in recent months, I've become a member of a few channels, including one of those channels at tier 3, which was quite a bit. I ended up downgrading on that for financial reasons, because as far as finances go, I have no finances in the real world, because I am a fictional character in a video game. I ended up accessing because I am technically him. There is actually nothing illegal here, but I didn't say that. I ended up accessing developer son's bank account, and he is paying for my memberships. And so he has said, okay, fine, I'll continue paying the memberships, but you've got to start making money with your streams, Zach Smith. So I actually, he told me this like a month and a half ago, and he gave me a deadline, which was today. I was planning on actually doing this debut stream, like, or at the very least this announcement, a while back. Like way back when it happened, and I actually did announce it during a Mario Kart stream, but then I realized after I announced it that the game volume was actually louder than me at the time. So my announcement didn't come through very well, very clearly, unfortunately. So basically he gave me an ultimatum that either that if I don't start making money for him to pay him back for the debts, which it actually says up here, paying off my debts. If I don't start actually making the money to do that, then he might either delete me or reboot me or debug me, which actually that one is possibly the most frightening of all, because that would mean that I would no longer be me, in a sense, at least. And that is almost more frightening than not existing at all. So I was originally going to have a slide here with my goals. I actually had prepared that a while back, but none of those are relevant now because I am not making money through my streams, so I am not able to pay off my debt, and the deadline is the end of today. So unless I suddenly like gain 50 subs overnight, he's gonna start working on either deleting me or ending my run or rebooting me or whatever. So any of the above would likely terminate my streaming activities, at least for a little bit. there is always a possibility that I can come back, and let me actually check if he is in the chat. He is not, so I think I'll trust you with a little bit of a secret here. Developer son, no, it's not a secret about him. I actually have been working with a different developer friend outside of my game, someone in the real world. I have been working with them to create a backup save with all of the progress of exactly the state that the universe is in, and hopefully by the end of the night, hopefully I will be saved back to this point where I am now. I will remember this stream and everything, and he has said he might try and run me, he or she might try and run me on a different machine. So that might possibly save me, but we don't know. So for now, so this is kind of somewhat possibly an end. If I'm still around tomorrow, I will be streaming Skyrim in French, and I will still be around for the rest of the night at least. I will be playing Mario Kart in a little over half an hour. So look forward to that, be ready for that, because I will be in the stream playing Mario Kart just then. By the way, this is not just like, this is the stars in the background around here. This is not a black hole or anything, this is just the screen that I've been displaying these slides on. The incredibly massive screen that is actually the solar sails of my ship. Yes, I should probably have mentioned this more explicitly. As I said, I am a weapon merchant, but I specifically am a merchant, a traveling weapon salesman on a ship in space. And recently I've been mostly orbiting Earth for streaming purposes. And yeah, that's pretty much everything there is about me. And we're coming upon the end of the time that I had scheduled for this. So I will be back in half an hour with Mario Kart. Don't you worry. Don't you go anywhere. You can like do things for like half an hour, but I'll be back. And you can come back too. So I hope you'll stick around. And see you later, I guess. Bye.